All right, here we go.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
It is time for happy hour. It is the Man Cave Happy Hour, whiskey, cigar, spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I am Matt Fox.
And we are back in
Yes.
the palatial Podcast
That
Detroit.
damn word again, palatial.
Northville Studios. I love being in the studios, man. I like getting out in the bars, but I love being in the studios.
Yes, because we can be.
Yes. Honestly, I just love getting out of the house, man. That's the long and short of it. I just need to be out of the house every once in a while.
Every once in a while is all right. Yes.
So, and today is a once and a while.
Yes.
And
it's a kind of a different feel for
Yeah.
our man cave tonight.
Yeah.
Because we're doing just a taste.
Just a taste.
It's just a taste of two things.
A ring-a-ding-ding.
Yeah. We're there. But, earlier this week,
Yes.
before the holiday, I had reached out to one of our other folks that utilize our studios, right? And Mr. David R. Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. I'm like, you know what would be better than bourbon and a hypnosis?
That's
Well, they kind of go together because bourbon is a hypnotic. I mean, after so much, you're pretty much hypnotized.
You saw those pictures of me yesterday. I was like out for the count on the couch. It was like, that wasn't even bourbon induced. That was more food.
Yeah.
Food coma.
Tryptophan.
It was. It was absolutely. But David, we haven't had you on the man cave before.
Not on this one.
Welcome.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, when you guys said, "Hey, you want to taste some whiskey?" I'm like,
We did.
Yeah.
We did talk. You were on the chat, and we were talking about your pets.
"Oh, that's right."
And so you were on the Animal Talk
into
show.
Animal
Talk.
show or
Yeah.
Animal Talk.
Animal Talk.
Yes,
But we've never had you here on the man cave. So
correct.
right up your alley. Tell me about your childhood.
Tell me about my childhood.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a twin. I think that's probably come up during the podcast.
So there's two
I
of
haven't
you.
heard that.
There is two of me. The other one's is not identical, however.
All right.
We were
male,
much
female?
different. My brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 5 minutes older.
Okay.
All right.
So I always make the joke that they've done studies on twins and find that the one that's born second usually has a lower IQ because they've had less oxygen.
Oh,
when they're in the
wow.
womb
All right.
once birth starts.
all right.
So you stole all that air.
I
Right.
think I used it up. He would argue with me, but I make that argument.
I'm taking all of the air away from you.
I did not know it was a twin thing.
Yeah.
That's I like that. So what led you to become the Motor City Hypnotist? It's what is your degree and how do you work hypnotism into it?
My degree is I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in counseling. I started when I was in high school. I worked at a summer camp for 7 summers during high school and college. And that kind of got me in. I was a camp counselor. Teenagers come in, I was a camp counselor for a week. I'd be up north for 8 weeks. So,
Wow.
pretty much spent all summer as a camp counselor. And then when I got to school, I thought, well, I'm going to kind of focus on psychology because I wanted to get into therapy and dealing with therapy and doing that with people. And
All right.
then once I got my master's degree in counseling, licensed by the state of Michigan, and then shortly after that, I was doing all the things that are involved with hypnosis, like meditation, relaxation techniques, deep breathing, guided imagery, things like that, all the components that make up hypnosis. So I thought, well, why don't I get certified there too?
Ah.
And then the show part of my thing actually that was much more recent. But I thought, I want to get into the show side of things just to have more fun.
Because you
And
get
not
up in
that-
front
not
of a
that-
group of people.
Oh no, yeah, I
right?
do comedy stage shows, for colleges, high schools, state fairs.
With hypnotism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hypnosis stage show.
All right.
So pretty much the long and short of it, and you can always go to my website to see clips, but
Okay.
you get 20, 30 chairs on stage. I come out, I do a
Yeah.
pre-talk, ask for volunteers, and then we just have fun.
Do you have any of the shills in the audience coming up?
No
for you?
shills.
No,
That's one of my things.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and this has been a big debate among the show among the performers, is that a lot of people will use shills just to kind of get their numbers up, but I'd rather do a show with 5 people that are real than 10 people with half of them being shills.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you see the old documentaries and things about magicians, and half of it was set up. I mean, it was
sure.
You
And
know,
magicians are a little bit different because you have to have an assistant, which is always complicit with what's going on. And sometimes they will get volunteers, but it's definitely something that they don't need the volunteers' assistance to make something look good. But,
All right.
But yeah, for magicians, there's a lot of setup with that. And a magician is, and I'll give them credit because I know a lot of magicians just because of our paths cross
I would
frequently
imagine,
between hypnotists and magicians and mentalists.
Yeah.
And it's all kind of converge in this one place. But I have a good friend who's a really good magician, and it's hours and years of practice to make something clean because it's sleight of hand, it's practice and
timing.
And with hypnosis, I can kind of take the easier route because I don't need that much practice.
Right.
so that's fascinating. So when you're on stage, are people bark like a dog, bark like a bigger dog, bark like a
I'll have I'm trying to think of like the typical suggestions.
Whatever kind of dog you like.
It's cold out, you're really cold, and people we move on to do more complicated things like individual ones, and I probably said this on my podcast. There's at the end I give individual callbacks where people respond to individual things, and that's always fun because then they kind of play off each other. I'm like, okay, when you hear my name, you're going to scream. When she screams, you're gonna bark like a dog.
Sure.
I've never done that specifically, but
sure.
When he barks like a dog, you're gonna
go pay my
run
house.
around in circles or whatever. So when you link them together, it's kind of fun, and you just got a chain reaction of things going on.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Steve will be back in about a week. He's off to pay my house. Thank y'all. Have a great night.
One of the best setups, I got my mentor, a good friend of mine. He's been on the Today Show. He's been on James Corden. So he's very, very high up in the world. But one of my favorites that I saw that he did, he was doing a state fair, and he gave this guy, I forgot what the trip word was or what the trigger word was.
Right.
The guy took off running. He said, you love elephant ears. You do anything to get your hand on an elephant ear. And the guy took off running. He comes back and he's just covered in powder.
Oh my God.
That was one of the funniest bits I saw. It was great.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being in the
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we're going to taste some bourbon.
And that's it. We're in the
have some
studio.
fun.
Yeah.
And we figured we'd do some bourbon. It was funny. You mentioned that you're a twin, and then you said the second twin has a lower IQ because they were deprived of oxygen. And that leads us to where we're drinking today.
Okay.
And it almost didn't come to be because Frank Sinatra,
yes.
the world almost missed out on Frank Sinatra.
They almost did.
He had a very, very difficult birth.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So Sinatra, when he was born, came out blue, not breathing.
Wow.
And so they ran him under ice cold water, and that revived him. It's this is
I wonder if that somehow developed that smooth voice he has. I wonder if that had anything to do with it.
But he had a really rough life,
Wow.
and so he had a lot of scars. He had to be pulled out with forceps, and the whole deal. So he's a lot of scars, and he was really conscientious about his scars growing up. And his mother had she was a pretty interesting woman. She was Dolly Sinatra. She was a little.
Was she out there? Or?
Yeah, a little out there.
Ooh.
She worked as a midwife, but she had a secret that she kind of ran an abortion clinic.
Oh no!
On the down low for Italian Catholic girls found themselves in trouble. So, and that was highly illegal.
Back then, that would have been she would have been cursed.
So he was all super conscientious about his scars and his family. The Dolly was she was part of the suffragette movement. She was big on that. She spent a lot of the time out of the house, and when she was home, all she did was fight with Frank. And she was like, and the reports are she was really violent, and she would like just beat the snot out of Frank. So his mom would just kind of beat him up. And then it's kind of a recurring theme throughout his life. It was just, cruel teachers and, thrown out of school. He was in this crazy love triangle, and the two girls beat each other up. And,
Oh boy.
and then he's like, oh, well, the one beat up the other one. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to be with this girl. And the other girl like called the cops on him and got him arrested for seduction or what's it called? It was arrested. Yeah. But it's not as sexy as it is today. It's seduction.
The two ladies, Jamie, was one night and the other one day.
Yeah.
Is that how they came up with night and day?
Yeah. It was Nancy and Della. So it was pretty crazy. Got him in trouble with the law. Seduction. Yeah, he was charged with seduction, which was a big crime back in the day. Wow. So that's not so interesting, but grew up, became a singer, proved everybody wrong, and made it big Frank Sinatra, and just the whole Rat Pack culture of the whole kind of boozy, loungy.
With Dean and Sammy and all those guys. I'm sure they have stories.
And they've told a lot of them.
Yeah.
One of his drinks of choice. He was a strong proponent and advocate, and a part of the success for Jack Daniels. He wasn't a paid spokesperson.
No,
he was just he wanted it on the cart. It was just we got our cocktail cart over in the corner, and it's something that he just liked to have, and he liked to have on his cart. And so in tribute to that, Jack Daniels has returned the favor, and there is the Sinatra Select, and that's where we're going today, right?
For our Just the Taste, we're gonna nip on have a quick little dram of the Sinatra Select today.
What do we know about Sinatra Select?
There's a few things that people need to know about.
I know a little bit, but a lot of knowledge is very dangerous. Yeah. So you're the one with the webpage pulled up. So what do you got?
What I do know about the Jack Daniels Select is they wanted to pay tribute to Frank. And because he was always that proponent, had him on the cart, it was always on stage with them all the time. But they wanted to pay tribute, so they decided to take their regular Jack, and they actually did something different with the barrels themselves, and they scored them differently, with deeper grooves in the staves.
There's extra striations inside the barrel, so there's actually it creates more surface area
for the whiskey to get more out of the barrel, so you get more of a toasted oak out of it. In all intents and purposes, and it comes in at a 45 proof, so it's not burn your face off in any way, shape, or form. But just to pay tribute to Frank, they released the Sinatra Select on what would have been his 100th birthday.
Oh, wow!
And just to pay that tribute back, and you guys have not had it yet.
I know. I'm interested. I'm very interested. Matt brought the bottle in. He was like, it was like kind of like Matthew had a birthday recently. And his wife was messaging me on Facebook. We're friends. She's like, if I was going to get Matthew a bottle, what would you suggest? And I threw a couple things out there, and one was, the Sinatra Select, just because. I figured I'd be able to try it eventually.
Eventually we'll make it here.
No, it's a fun one. We've talked about it before.
We have talked about it before.
And we're like, we got to do that. And I figured, all right, so it's something kind of on a wishy listy kind of.
We had the assistant master distiller of Jack Daniel with us on a very early on episode,
Chris Fletcher, and he is now the master distiller.
Yes,
he moved up the ranks.
The world.
Yes,
he did. Yeah, the master distiller at Jack Daniel's left earlier this year, 2020. It's a fabulous year.
Yeah,
and so Chris is now the master distiller.
That's
we got to get him back in here.
Yeah, I would love that. But we talked a little about the Sinatra Select with him. Way back when, and it's always been in the back of my mind, I need to try this. And and for serendipitously, Mary reaches out to Jamie, and here we are talking about this bottle, which we've talked about it before. If you're going to get someone a gift, you don't want to spend a lot of money, but it's a one-time, once in a while thing. It's a good bottle to get because the packaging is absolutely
I was going to say,
brilliant.
just looking across the table, just at the box and the presentation, that it just looks cool.
And orange was one of Frank's favorite colors. on top of that. And he always wore orange, something orange every single day. It was his favorite color. So they did pay a lot of attention to this bottle itself.
He had an interesting beginning, an interesting end as well.
Okay.
So his funeral was it was touching, right? Just a star-studded gathering.
Sure.
Just scores of A-list friends and presidents and just, you know, you name it, they were there. But his family put together this little tribute, right? And so they created a little care package that he was buried with. And in the care package were some of his favorite things, including cherry lifesavers.
Oh, okay.
Cherry flavored lifesavers, some Tootsie Rolls.
All right.
Good choice, both of those.
Yeah. I'm in. A bottle of Jack Daniels, a bottle of Jack Daniels Camel cigarettes and a Zippo lighter and a dog biscuit, a roll of dimes. Yeah. So, and it was that had to do, the roll of dimes had to do with his son's kidnapping, and it played into just having that played into his son was kidnapped at one point.
I thought for some reason he needed them for his hand,
for like brass knuckly kind of thing. Yeah,
punching,
that's
people.
it.
Yeah.
So Camel cigarette, Zippo lighter, and a bottle of Jack Daniels. So he's pretty much ready for a party. He really is.
Yeah.
He's
walking up to those pearly gates saying, "Hey, let's go. Here we are."
Who said you can't take it with you, right? So what do we know about the proof and the mash bill? Do you have anything like that?
I don't have any of the mash bill on this, but the barrels that they created for this, they were very unique because, like we said, they got deeper grooves, get more of the surface area. It really exposes the whiskey to that extra layer. You get more of a toasted oak out of it. And, the color on it, it doesn't look like a regular number 7. You're going to get it's more amber than anything else. That just and I already talked about the packaging, but it's brilliant. When Jamie, if you want to crack that open like a book, when you get a chance, you're welcome to.
Oh my God, no! Here, you guys.
All right, fair enough.
There you go.
So yeah, here everyone's on Facebook; they can see.
Okay, yeah, your camera's here.
Oh, here it is. Hi. So, but just the packaging alone.
Oh, look at that.
And it actually
gorgeous.
It came out with a little booklet as well that I took the book out. But yeah, this bottle.
Just show the inside of this box. It's all like foamed in and
yeah. But yeah, there's the that's what it looks like there. But yeah, there's the orange on it, and you can see it's really a beautiful looking bottle.
It's just a nice looking bottle. And you're right, it has that. It's just that darker.
It's got more amber to it than what you get out of a number 7.
So supposedly, Jackie Gleason introduced Sinatra to Jack Daniels at a bar called Toot Shores Bar in New York.
Really?
There you go. That is it. I was trying to dig up the mash bill on it.
I'm actually still looking for it myself.
But I have the regular Jack mash bill. Oh yeah, here it is. So it's 90 proof.
Yes. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got
rolling in 90 proof. 80% corn, 8% rye, 12% malted barley. So yeah, 80% corn. That's a pretty high corn. So in this, it's not bourbon.
It's whiskey.
It is Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey.
And it does say right on the bottle, Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey. The folks in Tennessee will take you to task if you start calling.
They will.
Yeah.
Technically, could qualify as a bourbon because it meets all the standards of the requirements. But yeah, don't try saying that anywhere in Tennessee. You get yourself in trouble. They'll tell you to go kick a safe.
I'm gonna crack this bottle open for you fellas.
All right.
Speaking of Tennessee, have you been to the Jack Daniels distillery?
No.
Okay, I did a tour. We used to do a whitewater rafting trip every year with my dad and my brothers and relatives. We used to be 10, 12 guys. We'd go down to West Virginia every year, but we made a stop in Lynchburg to tour the distillery.
Nice. And is it as
very
nice
cool? It's really weird to go into a dry county and find this distillery right in the middle of it,
right?
And it's just it has a sense of, it has an aura to it because it's not like it's everything looks brand new. It's all used and it's all rugged and it was really fascinating. It really was.
It's a gorgeous package. It really is. The bottle itself is just a little chunkier,
A little more square.
Yeah, it's got a little Sinatra hat on it.
Gives it some weight.
Yeah,
in a good way.
So,
in a good way.
So, yep.
But this would be a bottle
90 proof, 45%. Yeah.
This would be a bottle that you would want to get for someone as a gift. It really is, because the price point on it, it's in the $120 to $160 range.
Yeah, depending where you are, it's somewhere between 120 180, depending on how your local taxes shake out.
So, but yeah, this would be it's an amazing gift for somebody.
It just looks so cool. You hate to all open it. Well, we did, but
yeah.
But
thank you, Matthew.
No,
Happy
you're
birthday.
welcome. Thank my wife as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, on that nose, it's kind of strong on the nose because of that corn, that 80% corn that's in there. It's kind of strong on the nose.
So he called it the nectar of the gods.
Yeah.
In 55, way back in 55, he was like, ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Sinatra. This is Jack Daniels, and it is the nectar of the gods.
It's quite pungent, stings the nostrils.
Yeah, it's it has the on the nose. I mean, Jack Daniels has a distinctive aroma. I've been down that trail many times. And Jack has a decided taste from other bourbons or even Beam, and this is reminiscent of it, but there's a difference.
There's definitely a difference, and the first time I actually nosed this, I got fruit. It's strong, but the second, third time you go back to it, you're going to get more of a fruit out of it on the nose, very coarse, sweet.
Yeah, like is it an apricot or an apple?
Oh, more mango maybe.
Ooh, okay. All right. So yeah.
So I can't wait for you guys to try this. I'm so excited.
So yeah.
So dive in, and then cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's one of my more favorites that I've had.
Oh.
It's kicking the back of your head right now.
The top, yeah. Oh, what is that? Oh, there's something in there.
There's a lot going on in it.
Yeah.
It finishes, and it really does hang around for a while on the back of your throat, on the back of your palate.
It's really smooth up front, and then it just kind of
lingers.
Yes.
I don't want to say. I want to say if there's I don't know if there's a licorice in it or a tar.
Well,
not a bad tar, but it just
the most smoky,
something dark, something
like
black. There's a black taste in it.
Or is it like a toasty type feel? Or
yeah.
There's something different because it's getting more surface area out of that barrel itself. That's where you're trying to find what am I tasting, because you're just not used to getting that deep groove.
I feel like the initial is much like if you're just looking at regular Jack, it's much smoother on the front end.
Oh yeah.
What's that? First time you just take it down, right? First sip, and the second one you let it roll around on your palate a little bit. Your second sip.
I'm getting what you're saying, Jamie, as far as that something dark, something.
Yeah,
there's something. There's something I can't put my hand on it.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy it. Makes me want to go out and start crooning. Being
crooning. I was gonna say we didn't have to croon for our sip.
This doesn't croon. This shouts though.
Yeah,
it croons up front.
Yeah,
it croons and then it shouts.
Yeah. Because we were doing the Eric Church version of Jack last time.
Yes, I remember that.
And a barrel, and then we were doing a barrel strength too. And that's what we were talking to Chris about. Wow, smelling this again.
Let me go back into it for a second. Nose.
I get a little bit now that I got it on my palate and I'm smelling it. I'm getting the smoke. I wasn't getting the smoke.
No,
the first time when in the nose, but now that it's on my palate, I'm smelling it. Yeah.
It does. It changes. You do get more of that smoke smell once you have it.
It's
there.
subtle. The smoke side is very subtle in that. You might be get a little bit of orange zest maybe as far as fruit goes on the palate. I was just sitting here. I haven't had a drink in 45 seconds, and I'm just letting it linger for a while and trying to figure out what's hanging around. But
I'm getting more of a caramel smell now, the corn and caramel smell on the nose than I did in the previous to drinking it. And now that it's on the palate, it's
But it's an easy drinker, which is very because it's only coming in at 90, 45 and 90 proof.
Right.
It's easy to drink. It really is. And you have to be very careful with it.
It does if you hold it just for a few seconds. It's got just a subtle difference, like more like maybe Jamie's the caramel. It gets almost softer a little bit,
butterscotchy type feel.
Yeah,
at the same time.
Yeah.
It just it feels like, and I hate to say it feels like a bourbon.
Yeah,
but it's whiskey.
It hits a little hard.
Yeah,
the first time
which is surprising for the proof.
Yeah, but not for Jack necessarily.
Fair. I'll give it that.
Yeah, but then it it
does level itself out really well.
Yum. Well, I guess it's whenever you're starting something new, you're not quite sure of what. I mean, you're going to know a little bit, but once you get that first taste down, now you can start to appreciate a little bit more the nuances.
I don't want to drink it too quickly because I don't want it to. I don't want it to be done. I am enjoying it. I do appreciate this one. I'm glad it's here.
Yeah, it made this just the taste. It made it.
Oh yeah. So I'm all right. So our rating system, Dave, we have a little unorthodox.
Oh, it's unorthodox.
A little bit
rating system.
Ready?
And it's it's
kill, marry, screw.
Kill, marry, screw.
Oh, okay.
So kill is dead to me. I'm never gonna drink it again. Marry it. I'm gonna buy that and take it home.
Right.
Screw. If it's at a friend's house or out of the bar, I might get it.
Right.
Especially if it's last call.
Right.
So on this one, well, the bottles on your shelf, right? They tell a story too, and I think this one tells a story. I think there's a lot to talk about with it and around it, and for that reason, it is good. It's not. And I usually have a Jack Daniels in the house.
It's not. It's a novelty.
I'd marry it.
Yeah. I did marry it, and because I did.
It
was given to me,
yes.
right, as a gift, but I would. It really does give you the ability to share because all these guys that have all these bourbon bottles, it's like you will never in your entire life get through every single one of those.
Yeah.
But you have to share, and this is something that you share with friends for special occasions.
I don't know. I've been doing a pretty good job of getting through them.
There's that. But yeah, I would marry this when and if this one disappears over the next year or so. I would definitely go out and try to grab another bottle because you're right, it does tell a story.
Yeah,
I would agree with Mary, and it's even more. I mean, the taste, I like it, but it's also the presentation that adds something to it. I mean, that's something I want to have on my bar.
Yeah.
Just it just looks good.
Yeah. So thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Love you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary, for
the Mary you married.
For Matt's gift.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what? We've got more under the hood as far as just the taste goes, but this is one of those bottles that you want to have on your shelf.
Oh, for sure. Like it.
All right.
In some way somewhere to put the box up behind it, maybe just for show.
Yeah.
That's just a nice look, and it's not special, but it's just the orange on there. It just looks great.
Yep. Presentation.
I love that he was buried with a bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
That's a little messed up. I could say, yeah, you're cool, but you'll never be Frank Sinatra stepping out of a helicopter drinking a bourbon cool.
Yeah. You know how Frank actually drank his whiskey? It was three ice cubes, 2 fingers, and a splash of water. That's how Frank drank his Jack. So,
And that would take off of the regular Jack that was available in his time. That would take a little bit of that edge off of it.
Yep.
And as the ice melted, even more so.
Yep.
Yeah. But this one, I would do this neat. Have you tried opening it up with water?
Because I enjoyed it so much neat the first time. I haven't explored too much outside of that.
Yeah.
Because I actually enjoy any whiskey or bourbon neat.
As we get more and more into it, right? Because Matt and I are pretty much novices. That's why we started this, is because we wanted to learn a bit. And as we get more and more experienced, I want to drink it neat more and more often. Although I've been on a Manhattan's kick.
Yeah, you have been
lately. It was old fashioned.
Well, I was going to say I've been on an old fashioned kick for quite a few years now. I've just never given it up yet.
Yeah. I was like, I got the vermouth there, and I'm like, I got the vermouth there. It's right there. So
you did it to yourself at that point, man.
I'm not big on muddling, but throw a cherry in there just as a substitute, and go that way.
Well, so I cheated out. How do you make your old fashioned?
Typically, it depends on what fruit I have, because most of the time I will have maraschino cherries. I don't think that's ideal because it's a little different taste. And I don't often have oranges, which I would probably use that. So honestly, I would typically put the cherry in, just mash it a bit, put the sugar cube in, and build it from there.
Okay. All right. So depending on the recipe,
with the bitters and such.
So it's the rest most recipes, a lot of recipes call for just like a sugar cube,
yes,
or simple syrup, or you can do maple syrup. You get some fresh maple syrup instead of the simple syrup. That adds some complexity to it. But like the simple syrup. So what I do is I got the raw sugar, little sugar packets. So I don't have sugar cubes. So I get a sugar packet, and I just dump the sugar packet in. And now there's no juice. And what Matt and I have learned is that whether shaken or stirred, right? You shake a cocktail if it has fruit juices in it at all. If there's like lemon juice or orange juice or some sort of, if there's a juice, you shake.
Right.
Otherwise, it's stirred.
Right.
So a Manhattan and an old fashioned, neither one of them have a fruit in it. You add the cherry at the end. You like to muddle your cherry. That's a little different, but that's cool. So what I do is I put the sugar pack in a shaker, and then I put ice in the shaker, and then I put in my bourbon pour, and then the bitters, and then I shake it, and I let the ice muddle the sugar that I have in there. Even though you're not supposed to shake it, because when you pour it, it comes out cloudy. And an old fashioned really isn't a cloudy drink, but it aerates it as you shake it, and then the ice breaks down a little bit as you shake it, so it waters it down a little bit more. And I do that just to make it last a little longer, so it waters it down a little bit, so I'm not drinking two of them. I can nurse one of them. So that's why I use a sugar packet and I shake it.
Sugar in the raw.
So so and then I got the Luxardo cherries.
That's what they're
the
called.
fancy pantsy Luxardo cherries.
They're really dark.
They're so good.
Eat a jar of those just in one sitting.
I don't know what would happen, but they're delicious. So I had just some maraschino type cherries, and I was like, the Luxardos, I can't. They were on sale, and I'm like,
honey, guess how much I saved?
Yeah, I got my butt kicked on that. But so I throw the Luxardo in there, and then you're supposed to do like a lemon twist in the end. So that's So that's how I do the old fashioned. Is I shake it up.
Old fashions are like burgers. There's millions of ways to make them, and they're all just a little bit different.
I still am gravitating back towards that best New York sour. Because yesterday being a holiday and what have you, I really did get after the red wine. But every time I'm like, you know what would go really good with this? Just have it layered, that red wine layered on top of that best New York sour. I'm actually contemplating doing one of those this evening.
I was gonna make one of those yesterday because we had red wine open. We don't. Colleen has switched kind of to white wines, so we don't always have a red wine open. And so there were some red wines opened yesterday, and I was contemplating. I was like, but I was in a hurry, and there's like a couple extra steps in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, poo.
Yeah.
Just
Just drink it neat.
splash, go. Yeah. So that was it. So all right, there you go. That's Jack Daniels,
Sinatra Select.
Sinatra Select.
Honestly, if you get the chance and you're out and about, try it first. Don't go out and just buy the bottle,
Yeah,
right? But if
that's
you're out
it.
and about, try it first.
Yeah, 125 is a big jump to just.
It really is. But
Everybody has a different palate.
everybody does. So try it for your first
Mhm.
time. You know, try not to drink it for the first time when you're smoking a cigar, right? Because you want your palate to be clean. You don't want anything to affect the amazingness of this bottle itself.
I still got. I'm
This
still.
juice,
I'm still
yeah.
calling a little licorice on this. I'm still.
Hmm.
There's something like a tree bark, maybe a
So
tree
good,
bark,
though.
like a bark,
Yeah.
like a licoricey, a barky
It's
licoricey.
got to be the oak that you're feeling.
Yeah.
There.
Well, the oak, barky,
Mhm.
yeah.
Anyway.
But it's not like oak. It's again with that extra striation. It's the
Yeah.
extra charcoalness in it. Maybe that's it.
Possible,
That's
very possible. But yeah, I say try it. You know,
I'm just
play around
making
with
crap
it.
up
you know,
now.
play around with it. And
Sound
then
smart.
if you like it, get it, and you will not be sorry. So
All right, there we go. All right, Man Cave Happy Hour. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Truly, genuinely, absolutely appreciate people
Mhm.
hanging out with us. And
I'll fix that.
oh yeah, okay. I was curious who went away. It was the right one went away. It wasn't the dangerous one.
Right.
There's a one we lost the camera.
Oh.
If a particular camera goes out, then,
Right.
then it's a
Oh,
screeching
then
halt.
then you're in trouble.
Then all the audio goes. We
Yeah.
did that. We were like recording and like
Oh,
no one can hear.
Yeah.
Then they had to fix it in post.
Yeah,
But
like-
hey, there we go. So like, subscribe, leave a comment,
Mhm.
buy a t-shirt.
Hey, wearingfunny.com.
Yes. Coffee mugs.
Yes, all that stuff. So
All
yeah,
that business. All right.
appreciate you being here.
Yep. Dave, thanks for
Hey,
hanging out, man.
glad to
Cheers.
have you. Glad you had me. I'm enjoying it.
Cheers.
I'll come back.
I hope so.
I hit end on